is so funny that whoever would ask us for advice, we would give it to them. Spot on. We would consider their situation and we would give pretty great advice. But when it comes to ourselves, we kind of forget all the Pinterest quotes out there. I remember one day, me and my friend were sitting watching a movie and all of a sudden she said, I feel like it's not working for me. I feel that I will give up if I'm not gonna get, you know, another order purchased this week. And I became so sad and so mad and so furious, but I try not to show it though. Not because she said that or the way she said that, just because of the thought of giving up your dream. And I love giving people advices when they ask me to, and sometimes when they don't really ask me to, which I should really stop doing. When people I know start to give up on their dream or question their dream or, you know, anything like that, I feel like it's my responsibility to stop that. It's my responsibility to search for the best advice, for the best like book quote or whatever, because sometimes I feel like whenever they give up on their dreams, I know it's not personal, it's not nothing to do with me, it's to do with them, but like I feel like they make me question whether I should give up my dream also. And don't get me wrong, I have a mind of my own, and whenever someone does something or doesn't do something, doesn't mean I will do those things. I have a mind of my own. But in the same time, I feel kind of responsible and feel this kind of urge to help people to achieve their dream or like give them a word of advice to pursue their dream. And this is what this video is about. Another story time is I met a guy a few years ago and he wanted to be a writer, and he showed me some of his writing and I was in awe of how beautiful it was. And then he said, yeah, I love it, but I'm actually studying on a profession that he actually also likes, but you know, it's more realistic, quote unquote, more realistic. And as he said that I like this too, you know, I love writing, but I like what I'm doing also, what I'm studying on. And when he said that, I saw that he was actually not telling the truth, how the spark figuratively disappeared from his eyes. When he was talking about writing, it was just like spark in his eyes, like, I don't know, everything was so positive and sunny and whatever. But when he started talking about the things he studies in university, it just like all the world went twilight, you know. And I also met a guy who was studying mathematics, and he said that he didn't particularly like it, that he liked planes, that he liked flying planes, that he liked, you know, studying them and stuff like that, but he was studying math because COVID, because you had to make a decision, you know, to study. And I felt so sad when both of them talked about, the first guy about writing, the second guy about planes, how they had those sparkles in their eyes. They were like so happy to talk about it. The way that my friend described that when I talk about acting and movies, that I have pretty much the same spark in my face, you know. And so I would start arguing with them and tell them they should follow their dream, they should follow the dream. And we would talk to 3 a.m. in the morning to trying to figure out how can he pursue his dream the way he wanted. And also I'm such a hypocrite. I'm telling people they should pursue their dream, but I was so scared to tell anyone about my dream, because I felt like the minute I would say to someone what my real dream was, it would be like, you know, it's out there in the world, I cannot protect it anymore. And I wasn't that confident in that dream to like let it go and say it to people, because I felt like whoever would say something, I would be just, yeah, okay, you're right, it's stupid, it's unrealistic and stuff like that. And what I realized later on, when I was concealing the dream for like 4 years or something, I realized that it took me much more energy to keep that dream within myself, to like hide this dream whenever someone would ask me like, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I'm just like, haven't decided yet, haven't like, you know, even though I had for years. And okay, you don't have to take me seriously because I'm 18 and people my age change their mind pretty often, and I won't go to explain to you that I know this is my dream because I've been doing this from that age, and I'm not gonna explain that. But you don't have to believe me. And I was also scared of people trying to bring me down to earth, as to say, like whatever I would tell them my dream, they would, you know, take me down to earth, tell me that I would think that it's unrealistic and stuff like that. And then I got the courage after realizing that keeping that dream was actually taking much more energy from me, and it was taking so much energy from me that I wasn't actually pursuing it. I was just like, you know, holding it back and I wasn't pursuing it, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna hold it for as long as I can. And I just decided to, you know, tell people. Not like tell people, like go to the store and say, okay, this is my dream. No, whenever people would ask me, I would tell them. And yes, people did try to bring me down to earth. They still do. And after not secretly hiding my dream, whenever person, like a grown person, my family member would ask, oh, have you rethought? Do you still want to be that? And I'm just like, yes, I still want to be that. I haven't rethought yet. And I added the part yet. I always add the part yet because I know that this is what they want to hear, because they were afraid to follow their dream and they want to bring me down to earth for it, just because they thought it's impossible for them to achieve their dream and they never even tried. And it's, you know, they hold me back for that. But I don't really want regretting not to do it, and time is gonna pass anyway. Also, what I like, two quotes that I like. Time is gonna pass anyway, and the second one is, you want it so bad because you have it in your future already. I like to believe those things. Like, first thing is for sure, time is gonna pass anyway, do whatever you want to do. But like, this concept of like, you want it so bad because you have it in the future, sometimes really helps me to continue. Two of them helps me to continue what I'm doing, to be on this journey of life. You know, but also what I do whenever I feel down, whenever I feel like giving up, whenever I feel like, I don't want to do that anymore, I go on the internet and search success stories of celebrities. For example, let me read you some. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team because the coach didn't think he was good enough. And I don't know anything about basketball, but I know his name, so I think he is really good at what he's doing. Another one is the founder of KFC, which faced numerous rejections and failures. He pitched his fried chicken recipe to over 1,000 restaurants before he found success. He started it at 62 years old. And some of us think of that age as not a beginning of something, but actually the opposite. And because he didn't have those limiting beliefs that we as a society have, that you have to achieve everything by 30 or like by 20 or like by, you know, do all of that. Because he didn't have that limiting belief, because he believed and he started it. Now everyone knows KFC. KFC is very popular because of him. He reached success because he was brave enough to actually try. He pitched his idea over 1,000 times. I cannot imagine filming this video over like 1,000 times. Are you kidding? The man is a legend. Next one is Steven Spielberg. He was rejected from UCK, University of Southern California, because his grades were bad. And he has one of the most successful and amazing movies ever produced. Like, this man is a legend. I recently watched, how it's called, with Rachel Zegler. I remember. I'm gonna put it here. And it was a masterpiece. I was watching. It was like 2.5 hours or something, and I was just in it for 2.5 hours. I wanted more. I was just like, give me more. I want to know more. And I read comments and people were like, oh, that was really a necessary remake. That was really, and I'm just like, shut up. Then, for example, this guy. In his early career, a casting director famously wrote that he can act, can sing, and can dance a little after he did an audition, which is a mean thing to say. And well, he was totally wrong. But also sometimes we need this like criticism and like people not believing in us in order to achieve that. Because if we're gonna become so comfortable at people saying like, oh, you're so good, you will stop doing something, and it will, you know, push you forward. So it does push me forward. The people not believing, the people like, you know, tell me, oh, it's never gonna work out, be realistic. I'm just like, thank you for the push. And there are millions and thousands of examples, like celebrities becoming celebrities, people getting success. And whenever I would tell one of those stories to people in my life, especially older people in my life, I would tell them all these like success stories that I've heard, that I've read, and they would say, yeah, it's just for the book. It never happened. Like, it's fake. I was like, dude, how can you be so... You know, if you have family members that do that too, I'm just like, why do you do that? Like, why not support your family member dream? Because most of the time, people don't go for their dream or don't achieve their dream is because their parents want them to be someone else. Their parents, their family members, people around them have a picture of how their life should be, and that person has another picture of how they want their life to be. And sometimes when, you know, parents especially, because they think that they, you know, own a child just because they were watching him and like feeding him from like early age, they like, you don't get to follow your dream. Go to be this. And it's actually pretty sad. But also, it can give you courage to actually do things that you want. And there are millions, billions of examples of people being successful, becoming successful. And most of the time, people who become successful are, you know, had some rough path throughout the years. You know, they didn't become successful just because one day they woke up and they like... So amazing. Even of the people you think that just got lucky and woke up on TikTok, for example, and were successful, they actually put in the work. It's not as easy like that. I mean, we want to think that it's easy like that, because when we think that they got lucky, it actually takes off responsibility from ourselves to keep ourselves accountable for the things we do and for the things we do not do. Like, for example, you didn't do that, decided to procrastinate, and instead of like go working, you just say, oh, this is a lucky person. I wish I would be that lucky. If I would be that lucky, I wouldn't have to work that much. No, luck only comes when you put in hard work. Got it? Got it. Also, another quote I love is, don't stop doing what you love, don't give up. And just because we read it everywhere, in the internet, in books, in like billboards, in news, in movies, everywhere, we don't take it seriously. But we should definitely read them out loud, I don't know, add them to our list of affirmations, or if it will help, nail it to your forehead, you know? Because that is the best reminder you'll ever need. I'm gonna read you some inspirational words that I wrote down, but I don't want to learn them. And I don't want to, you know, make these stitches and like, no, I don't want to do that. Keep going, because if you don't, you will never see the rewards of your perseverance and dedication. Keep going, because if you don't, you will never know the joy of overcoming challenges. Keep going, because if you don't, you will always regret it. Keep going, because if you don't, you will never inspire others who are watching you. Keep going, because if you don't, you will never experience the satisfaction of personal growth. Keep going, because if you don't, you will never feel the pride of conquering your fears. Keep going, because if you don't, you will never make the impact you are destined to make. Keep going, because if you don't, you will never reach the heights you are capable of achieving. Keep going, because if you don't, you will never find the strength within you to become who you're meant to be. Keep going, because if you don't, you will never achieve what you deserve. Keep going, because you deserve it. This is all I have for you for today. Hope you really enjoyed this video, and I hope you will not give up. You know, life throws a lot of things at us, but life doesn't throw, you know, things that we cannot handle. You can handle it. Doesn't matter through what you're going through, you know. I know a quote, I don't particularly really remember it, but like it goes like, it's the possibility of dream come true that makes life worth living. So you really deserve that dream to come true, and I really hope you will be working for it, not burning yourself out, just like working a little by little, you know. I love you, never give up, and I'm here always to support you, to be your supporter. If you need a supporter, if you need someone to tell you go for it, I'm your person. I'm here always in the comments, not 24/7, but like I'm here. I love you. Bye.